Of the six pillars of operations that you help people with,
Mhm.
is there, this is a two-part question, is there one pillar that represents a bigger part of the problem? And
Mhm.
is there another pillar or same pillar that typically needs to be addressed first?
Great question. Okay, so the part that typically needs to be addressed first is the strategic pillar, because one of the biggest bottlenecks we see is that business owners are not exactly clear on what their strategic vision is. And so there is nothing to operationalize because they don't have a clear direction to move in and they keep pivoting and switching focus. And
All right.
so that is the root cause bottleneck, almost like I won't say almost always, fairly often. That is a root cause bottleneck that needs to be resolved. And until that's
Mm.
done, you can make progress in the other pillars, but that work will be less effective. Um, that being said, I have also found that the strategic bottleneck is the hardest for a business owner to conceptualize in the like
Yeah.
problem aware stage because it's the sneakiest and the symptoms are the least clear.
Mm.
What is the clearest is probably the team. If they have a big team problem, that will show up very loud in their business. And communication is probably the third pillar that shows up the loudest in their business when they notice themselves just on meetings all day or in Slack every day. Essentially, these are the things that impact them and their lived
Mm.
experience of running their business the most.
Team, strategy, communications. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Okay. I love that you already filtered through to what they're most aware of.
Yeah.
That's great. Of strategy and communications,
Mm.
if you ask them to rate the problem intensity on a scale of 1 through 5, 5 being the most intense, how would they
Mm.
rate those two?
Um, it does depend on the business, but I would say strategically, they would rate the intensity of that problem relatively low. Um, Again, they even though it is the root cause problem, they do not perceive it to be the problem. Um,
Hmm.
and so that is always one of like kind of the biggest revelation moments that we're able to reflect back to them
I
as part
see.
of kind of the inspection process.
Okay.
In terms of what they would rate the highest or like the worst, they would rate team and communication as being probably their biggest pain points.
Team and communication. And scale of 1 through 5?
If they're an ideal client, they are in the 4 to 5 range in terms of feeling a lot of pain and frustration around that.
Okay. And what language does Jeffrey use?
To describe those problems.
Yeah.
On the team side, I spoke a little bit about it earlier, but like the my team is coming to me for everything. My team can't think for themselves. My team is just waiting around, reacting, or I don't even know what my team is working on. I don't even know if they're working on the right things or if they're working 8 hours a day. I have issues around performance and accountability tracking. These are the sorts of team challenges that will come up. I have a bunch of underperformers. I have super high team churn. I don't know why people are leaving. I can't hire A players or keep A players. Um, they have a vision essentially of a dream team, and then they have a reality of what their team is today. And the gap between those two is really frustrating.
Okay. So it's not a team problem, it's an ops problem.
Correct.
Okay. They don't have full awareness of that. The symptom is team problem, the root
Correct.
cause is ops problem.
Correct.
Okay.